hear me? Madam President, trustees, Dr. Waddell, just a little bit about me real quick. Growing up in rural southern Oklahoma, right across the river, just north of Gainesville, Dallas and Fort Worth newscasts were our primary mode of information. We were closer to DFW than Oklahoma City. And Lewisville was always a destination point for me and my family as we came to the big city. As a young kid, I didn't know any different. I thought everybody in Texas were farmers. As an adult, I learned differently. And I'd drive past the water tower over here on 35, headed to Waxahachie Ranch for about 11 years, raising cows and coaching and teaching. And I think to myself, what an awesome place. Not just farmers, they're fighting farmers. And they had tremendous pride. Well, I stand before you as a blessed man to be your principal. And I want to thank you for allowing me to serve you and our kids and our community. I am thankful for the opportunity to share with you about the greatest high school in Texas. And I truly mean that. I remind our kids and our teachers of that weekly. Being a farmer is very special. I regret I didn't graduate as a farmer. I wish I did. And I tell the kids that. It's a privilege to come to Lewisville High School. We had high expectations and responsibilities. We graduate more students at LHS than all the other high schools here in Lewisville. Last year we had 839 graduates, and the year before we had 865. I tell the students and I tell the teachers all the time, our job is to graduate kids. And our vision at Lewisville High School is for each student, not every, but each student to have the skills necessary to go off to college, the military, technical schools, the workforce, or even to stay at home as a parent. We believe that. 2 years ago, we were recognized campus for the first time since 2001. Our teachers and kids worked hard to accomplish that. Last year, we had recognized tax scores, but I am ashamed to stand here and tell you we're not recognized because we had too many kids that dropped out of school. Unfortunately, Lewisville High School has about 66%, almost 67% of the dropout rate in the entire district. And of those, 73, over half, 73% of LHS are sophomores. Half of them in the entire district are freshmen and sophomores that would get into LHS. And a lot of those kids, unfortunately, are ones that moved into LHS. They're not students that started over Kilo. They're not students that went K through 12. They're not kids that went to DeGan or went to Durham or went to Kilo. I want you to know that only about one student in the entire district each year will drop out at Kilo. One. Whereas I have half of them, unfortunately. We're working hard. We have systems in place to make sure that that is fixed. And I assure you, as your principal, we're going to do that. I want to share some other things with you. The process. We believe, Mr. Plunkett and I have been working on this for almost 3 years now. And my boss, Dr. Crenshaw, sitting up here, called me up and said, here's our plan. Implement it. Get it going. So we started looking around. We looked at what's best for kids. That was number one. And I've been preaching that at Lewisville High School ever since I got there. We looked at Plano ISD and Carroll ISD because at the time those were the only two school districts that we knew that did that. Last night I had the opportunity to go to a regional meeting for principals in Region 11. I spoke to Archie McAfee. Archie is our executive director. He's the head of all the secondary principals in Texas. And he used to be the principal of Plano East High School. And I said, Archie's a friend of mine. Our drill team director worked for Archie. He hired her. One of my assistant principals worked for Archie as well at Plano East. And they told me the same thing that the principals at the 910 centers told us over at Plano. The number one concern they had was spirit. I agree with you, spirit is a concern of ours. But Plano told us we had it right and they had it wrong. Because over in Plano, as a kid goes into the 910, they have their different mascots. They're a separate place. In Lewisville, we're kind of like McDonald's. It doesn't matter if you go to McDonald's in Terrell, Texas, or Lewisville, Texas, it's still McDonald's. And that's how it is with us. Whether you're at the campus south of town, the campus north of town, the campus on Main Street, you're still at the greatest high school in Texas, regardless. And that's how we look at it. But they told us that the spirit was important. Heck, if it's up to me, every kid K through 12 would be a farmer. But you haven't given me that authority yet. As soon as you do, we'll all be farmers. Right now, our kids are 9 through 12 are farmers. I've heard it said several times, well, the North Campus, the Kilo Campus doesn't do the same things that we do. That's not true. I've walked the halls. The farmer pride that walks those halls is important. Let me share with you what students told me the other day and what they tell me every time I go into sophomore classrooms. I make sure to go into sophomore classrooms because sophomores are the key area. One reason the Kilo Campus is so successful in what they do, they've got one group of kids to work with. That's it. That is their number one concern. You think back, those of you that are parents, you look at your photo albums and you look at your pictures on the walls. Those of you had 2 or 3 or 4 students, 2 or 3 or 4 kids, just like I do, just like Jennifer and I do. We have lots of pictures of our firstborn. I'm ashamed to say we don't have as many of our lastborn. Because we gave attention to the one that was most important to us at the time. Each one of your students, those of you in the crowd, your kid's just as important to me as Brighton or Allie or Cassidy. And that's my group. And I believe Mr. Plunkett, when he stands before you with heartfelt emotions, that he loves what he does. I wanted the job at Lewisville High School. I asked for it. A friend of mine once told me, a very esteemed colleague of mine who's well respected in our district, his dad's name is on our stadium. He said, Brad, why in the world would you want the job at Lewisville High School? That's a hard job. They just might give it to you. I am thankful that you gave me that responsibility. Let me give you some facts real quick. Andy talked about Mr. Kilo, and I'll leave him out of this now. But Archie spoke highly, and he said, let me tell you, I've been a parent, I've been a principal, and I've been a teacher in this system. One of my girls went through it. It was the best thing for her because it allowed my child, my girl, the social development that they needed as a 10th grader. I didn't put her into a school with lots of hairy-legged boys that were juniors and seniors. And as a dad of 3 girls, I can relate to that. Nothing against hairy-legged boys, I was a hairy-legged boy too. Share something else with you real quick. Andy's teachers are in the trenches every day. And they know what it takes to be successful. In the last 9 years, they've either been recognized or exemplary. Now, they don't have the same standards that we do at Lewisville High School, and I understand that. I'm talking about the indicators set out by PEA. We've got the graduate students. His job is to get him to the next level, and he's done a wonderful job at it. There's no one in this room that could ever debate that. I'm very proud of the fact that we've done awesome things at Lewisville High School just in the last 40 years. But unfortunately, our school, just like the state of Texas, has changed. My hope is it's changing for the better. Because here's what I tell our students at LHS. This is what I tell your kids at LHS. Is that you're very blessed to be in one of the most diverse schools in Texas. 2 years ago, we were recognized we're the largest high school in Texas that had the highest limited English proficient population in the entire state. I'm proud of that. That tells me the work that our kids put into things. I asked the students the other day, so those of you who went to Kilo, raise your hand, and I'll raise my hand. I said, what makes Kilo so good? They said, it's not good, it's great. I said, why is it so great? They said, because the teachers give us individualized attention. Over here, we've got to find our place, and I understand that. We're a large school. That's okay. Because we are a large school, we compete at the highest level in 5A, and I'm very proud of that. I can assure you this, of the students that Mr. Plunkett sends us, when our kids become juniors, I see one of my counselors in the back, she'll verify this. When our kids become juniors, we have a 98% chance of those kids passing and graduating. We can't argue with that with anybody in the state of Texas. Our kids graduate on time, if I can get them to the junior level. And we strive to do that. That is our #1 focus. But we get a lot of kids that move in and that move out. Over half the kids that move in and move out of Lewisville ISD at the high school level or at our campus at Lewisville High School, at your campus. And we work with that. That mobility rate is really high. I mean, facts are facts. I just want to share those with you. Why the 910? Because of the support systems that are in place. They offer individualized instruction and learning in the 910 center. In smaller communities, you can do that. That's just the facts. The 910 dropouts, half of LISD and 73% of LHS and sophomores and freshmen. The social development of kids is so key and crucial. Expanding Kilo's success, I'm in favor of. I've heard lots of parents say, lots of concerned citizens say, if it's such a good thing, how come we're not doing it around the district? That's a great question. I asked Archie McAfee that question last night. If it's such a great thing, how come Plano And Carroll and Lewisville are the only ones that are innovators in that. He said it's because of money. Just like Andy stood here and said, we have a wonderful opportunity right now to do something extraordinary for our kids. I talked to Converse Judson today. They used to do a 9, 10, 11, 12 concept, but they stopped it because of money. Because they couldn't afford to continue doing it. And they said they're starting to see the differences. The discipline is going up. The issues that they have is going up. As far as Lewisville High School is concerned, let me share some things with you real quick. Our junior scores are as good or better than anybody in the state of Texas. Overnight, Lewisville High School could possibly become a recognized exemplary campus just because we look at those scores, because those scores are important. Unfortunately, sophomore scores don't really matter as far as the state is concerned, except for accountability. But it does matter at the federal level in AYP, on adequate yearly progress. When I got there 4 years ago, we were on the adequate yearly progress list, the hit list. We got off of it immediately because of the work that we did with our sophomores. I can almost guarantee you that we'll see increases in tax scores, we'll see increases in college ratings, attendance, completion rate, the number of AP students. We're already doubling those numbers for next year. The leadership that our kids get, the maturity in the community service. You'll see a reduction in truancy, discipline. 63% of discipline in high schools is sophomores. And dropouts, and teen pregnancy, and mobility. Most of the students that I get that come and go at Lewisville High School are freshmen and sophomores. Juniors get focused. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fact that they get to go to prom, and they get started with the junior ring or what, but juniors traditionally get focused. I believe in what Mr. Plunkett's done in Killer. I'll be honest with you, I was a doubter at first because I'd heard all the naysayers. But I've looked at the data, I've looked at it around the state, I've looked at it around the nation, and what they do at Killer is amazing with students. And the facts are facts. Let me finish up with this. Athletics seems to be a hot point with some, and as well as busing. I agree, busing is not the best thing. We don't really like it. But we've been doing it for the past 14 years, and I think we've done okay. Mr. Plunkett and I are committed to reduce busing. Our former boss, Dr. Jerry Roy, gave us a directive to reduce the busing, so we went to work on it. We're very serious about it. We don't want your kids on buses any more than I want my own on there. Our plan right now is to try to get it just first and last period. Athletics will primarily be at the main campus. It won't be separated. I've heard people talk about that. The point of putting it at the main campus, and the district has done this also, because my argument was we can't have it at the main campus as long as we have 2 gyms. They had an answer for us. They gave us another gym. And it makes sense. We want our kids to compete at the highest level academically and athletically in every UIL event that we do. Now, there are some things that we don't have an answer for, and it's going to take us some time and tweaking. But what Andy talked about is the fact that Plano uses a system where they guarantee students, when they become a junior, are prepared and ready to go. When Mr. Plunkett tells me that, I believe him because he lives it every day. He guarantees it. And I asked him yesterday in a meeting, I said, Andy, can you guarantee that? And he said, absolutely. And I took it to the bank, I turned to Dr. Rogers and said, how can you argue? The school has shown tremendous success. I visited with you a little bit about why we don't see it more around Texas. And the other thing that Archie told me, which I thought was unique, it's hard to go against tradition. The tradition in high school is 9 through 12. We have a wonderful opportunity to think outside the box. I'm thankful for our new superintendent because he and I see eye on lots of things, even though he doesn't know it. I believe in lifelong learners and thinkers. I am thankful that we now have the opportunity to think outside the box more openly. And the fact is, our superintendent has spent a tremendous amount of time with us, asking us for our thoughts. And the board has done the same thing. The fact that you were meeting tonight to hear what the facts are, and that you want the public, the transparency is obvious, and we're thankful for that. Not just as a principal, but as a constituent and dad of 3 girls, thank you. Because I greatly appreciate that, because I'm a taxpayer as well. Last thing, we want to focus on graduation of seniors at the senior high, just like Andy wanted to focus on getting kids to the junior level, and just like Mrs. Flores wants to do about getting kids to the junior level. We don't want to split up the kids. What we want to do is build a better Lewisville High School. We could have transfer policies. Kids are resilient. They'll do whatever you ask them to do. We can run the ball as bell speed and go. The teachers will take them 3 weeks to figure it out. The kids figure it out within the first 5 minutes. Because kids, that's just what they do. I don't know about you, but I'm a part of the 8-track generation. A lot of kids wouldn't even know what that first song was. But that's my generation. Kids today are resilient. They work at a faster pace and multitask faster than all of us probably put together. Don't sell our kids short. They will survive. And I've heard parents in the south end of town, they like the idea of having a campus next to them. And I can't help it. I think that's a wonderful thing as well. Just like the campus in town. Unfortunately, there's about 1.8, almost 2 miles difference between Maine. We're going to have to move students, there's no question. But the good thing is, by being on the block schedule and accelerated, it gives us a little bit of time to do that. But you've heard the commitment from Mr. Plunkett. Mrs. Flores is on board with us. And honestly, I don't think we could ask for a better principal to help lead this. She has revolutionized the Lane Middle School. And not just her, but her hiring practices and the teachers that she brought in and the kids that brought in. We have turned this town upside down. For the first time ever in the history of Lewisville and the community, each school is either exemplary or recognized. And sadly, Lewisville High School is not. But I guarantee you, the tax scores show that we are. We're doing what we need to do. And I regret that we had too many kids that dropped out. But we got that fixed. So we're going to continue getting it fixed. I'm proud to say that I am your principal. I'm proud to say that you have the greatest kids ever. I'm going to finish up with this. Andy talked about the uniqueness of our kids. This is a packet of all of our kids that are on free or reduced lunches at Lewisville High School in Kilo. There's 1,717 students on this packet as of today. 1,717. That's 50% of the entire district of all the high schools. 50%. This is our packet. And each person on here is a person. They have a home, they have an address, and they have a dream. This is one of our other sister high schools. This is 2 pages. Lewisville High School is almost 40 pages. This is another sister high school, 4 pages. So when people say that we want to be treated the same, I totally agree. But I am blessed to think that our administrative staff and our school board has given us additional resources. They have given us additional buses. They have given us additional teachers. They have given us additional time. And they have let us run our schools so that your students, those of you in the crowd, can be super successful. Last year we had a salutatorian that went to Harvard. She's not the first student to ever go to Harvard. Last year we had 5 students go to service academies. That's the most of any high school in the southwestern part of the United States. That's the type of kids we're talking about. We want to make the best better. And the fact that you've been so gracious with us, Board, the fact that you have given us resources, the fact that administrative staff has been extremely open to us, I am thankful. You hear us when we call you. I can pick up the phone and call any of these administrators and say, I need help. And we get help immediately. And I am thankful for that. They know and they care. They're good school people. And I hope that you'll trust them now when we move toward another direction for Lewisville ISD. No, we're not having it for the other 4 high schools, but we may in 13 or 14 years from now, because that's how long it took us to get to all the 9th grade centers for all the schools. I thank you for your time, and I respectfully appreciate the fact that you let me work at the greatest high school in Texas. Thank you.